the statistics are startling. 9 out of every 10 pastors leave the ministry before retirement. 50% of those ministers don't even last 5 years. 75% report having significant stress-related crises, and 90% feel inadequate to cope with the demands of the job. Half of all pastors have considered leaving the ministry in the last few months. As a result, many major denominations and ministry organizations are faced with a crisis of empty pulpits, unable to find enough pastors and leaders to fill their positions.
I have a supernatural burden, a supernatural love, a supernatural care for, and a supernatural mandate to help you be all you can be for God. It's not something I conjure up. It's not something I created. It's not something I designed or ever intended to do. I never dreamed I would do this. But God has mandated me to reach as many pastors in the world that I possibly can. The vision isn't getting accomplished, and the purpose for which they were created isn't happening, and they're uncalling themselves left and right because they can't take it anymore. Pastors say all the time, I can't take this anymore.
The truth is, colleges and seminaries teach pastors how to preach and teach, but they never learn that as a pastor or ministry leader, they are also the CEO of that organization. Leadership, as well as managing resources and people, are key aspects of the ministry that few pastors understand when they begin their career. Simply put, the Great Commission is being stopped because pastors are so overwhelmed they leave the church by the thousands every year. Businessman and ministry leader Dean Radke is passionate about changing those statistics. That's why he founded the Ministry Institute, focused on teaching pastors and ministry leaders how to effectively lead and manage their organizations. Dean Radke spent more than 30 years in senior corporate leadership before founding the Institute. Today, he teaches principles that have proven successful in building billion-dollar corporations and ministries of every size. In addition, the Institute is creating a network of experienced, innovative, and successful corporate and ministry executives, professional coaches, pastors, media professionals, and more. Thousands of pastors and ministry leaders have literally saved their careers thanks to this remarkable program. Men and women who were spiritually trained and committed, but without the skills and information they needed to manage and lead a church or ministry organization. The Ministry Institute is a global initiative focused on training a new generation of leaders through intensive seminars, long-term training, personal networking, and one-on-one coaching. The vision of Dean Radke and the Ministry Institute is to develop leadership skills so that pastors and spiritual leaders can successfully manage their churches, ministries, and nonprofit organizations.
This is practical application. These are skill development trainings, mentoring, coaching, teaching, questions, learning how to apply what you already know. Pastors are discouraged, dismayed, despondent, demoralized, depressed, all because of a big D word, dysfunction. They've never been taught how to properly build something. They've never been taught how to properly facilitate the mandates that God's given them. When I hear that frustration, that distress, that anxiety, kind of hopelessness of, what do you do? How do you make this work? I kind of describe that as the aching void in pastors. The aching void, that hurt, that deep down hurt of underachievement, the demoralization and depression that sets in. And it grieves me. I know that's what drives me. That's what keeps me going. That's why I'm going to do this for the rest of my life till Jesus comes. I hate that when I see that in men and women of God. And that aching void, we got to get rid of it, and we do get rid of it. But then also, there's the toxicity, of dysfunction. Not being shown how to do it, not knowing how to do it. Nothing worse than being asked to do something, know you're going to be held accountable by God to do something, but not know how to get it done. And yeah, boy, that grieves me. It just grieves me, and it drives me. And that's all I care about.
The days of simply having a calling are over. In today's complex, media-driven culture, reaching the world with the message of hope will take creativity, commitment, teamwork, leadership skills, managed resources, training, and most of all, vision. That global vision is what drives Dean Radke and the Ministry Institute team. Simply put, the Ministry Institute is changing the way spiritual leaders lead.